Oh, hey Carlos, how you doing, man? Just getting some adjustments here. As I am unfamiliar with this stuff, it's going to take me a few to get her set up. Yeah, man. Absolutely are. How are you doing today? Hey, that has something. How you doing, man? See where I get my name? I'm sure you guys, yeah, I appreciate you guys showing up and all that. I got really nothing to talk about once people get showing up and all that. I've got some watch questions that you guys are going to know more about than I will. I'm fairly new to all this, 2 years in, so not brand new, but um, yeah, having a place that I can actually ask guys, that ain't bad. Yeah, having a place that I can ask guys and actually get answers is going to be quite helpful for me. Yeah, winding down the weekend. Me too. Messing around with a little project that I doing for my wife. Hey man, how are you doing? Glad to see you. Hey, yo, Thomas. How are you guys doing? I'm glad you're here. Appreciate you showing up. Watch me make a mess out of a piece of leather. Yeah, right on. Well, I'm glad you showed up either way. I appreciate it. Check this out. Some high gloss leather stuff. It's all shiny.
What is that?
Oh, I'm just talking online. Online. Yeah, I should probably focus up and stop doing this. Then I can show you what it's going to turn into in a bit. One of these leather junk things everybody finds so handy. That's it. So I'm a little socially awkward, as you can probably tell. That's why I hang out online. What I'm curious about with you guys, how, like the basics, what got you into the hobby? Okay, cool, man. What I'm curious is what got you into it. Um, like I'm 2 years in. I'm curious about what you guys We're doing 2 years in. What you got into? I didn't dive in too deep, but it and that's not much better. Yeah, I'm just curious what got everybody into it. Where you were in 2 years, and I guess even what your aspirations are in the future. Like with me, I got first thing I do if I'm interested in something, I jump on YouTube. Got into the whole TGV thing, which like if it helps getting people into it, then great. But there's a lot of garbage out there, and a lot of ways to throw $500, $1,000 at stuff that just isn't going to get you anywhere. And that was me. Absolutely was me. I had the Steinhardt. I got the Alpinist. The Steinhardt, I'll say, is like kind of a gateway for me. When I was a kid, I got a Levi's watch from my parents. Oh no, I don't. I'll see if I can here. I got a Levi's watch from my parents, and for Christmas. Oh shoot! Copy. Let's see. Nice. Well, now I can't even just copy that. Yeah, Thomas, if you'd like to come on, that'd be awesome. I'd way much be able to actually talk. See if that does her. Yeah, Carlos, I get that too. You know, there's lots of times where I'm not interested in what the topic of watches is about at the time. And it's just entertaining as all hell to watch. Some of it's a train wreck. Okay, that's not it. Burrito. Oh, thanks, honey. Burrito. Okay. And now another problem is I don't know what I'm doing entirely here. If somebody, if that shows up, could you guys let me know? I tried just copy and pasting the link. I'm just gonna try that again here. Oh, excellent. Yes, please. Hey,
Yo,
Thomas.
Yo, Zippo, man.
Hey. How are you?
Yeah, all right, mate. Great to talk. Yeah.
You too. I very much appreciate you coming on like this.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Yeah, a punter's channel at last.
Yeah, I'm by no means one of the heavy duty collectors like everybody else. I'm
No,
new to
no.
it,
This
so
is what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for a punters channel.
yeah.
Somewhere where the punters can actually congregate and chat amongst ourselves without the pressure of it being a high profile channel. This is
Yeah,
brilliant.
I like that idea myself. Actually, that's a good reason to keep doing it, as far as I'm concerned, because
Absolutely, it's great.
we're not all
You're the,
farm council or
yeah,
cardinals.
you're the first one to do it as well. Respect
Really?
us, man.
Nice.
Yeah, well,
Well,
I've not done it, you know. Neo's not done it. Blue Shirt's not done it. Howdy from Texas not done it, you know.
yeah,
No one
yeah.
else. You're the first one on the case. Respect us, man. Absolutely respect us.
Thank you.
Yeah, brilliant stuff.
Yeah, glad to have you aboard. Anybody else too, by all means. I don't like talking to myself, so
Yeah, so you were
if
telling
I
us
can hear
about
it.
you were telling us about how you got into watches.
Yeah, it was just a few years ago. I just decided I needed something like I know I look like a weirdo. And
No,
like
not
when
at
I was a
all.
kid, I got this Levi's watch, and it was
Yeah,
just a cheap quartz thing, but it was nice enough. And then as I got into the watches thing again recently, I realized it was a pretty much bang on replica of a Submariner,
right.
which, you know, so I guess my mom had good taste. She might have known what she was doing when she got that, or she just got a good deal on it at Sears because she worked there.
Well, it's such a copied watch anyway, isn't it? That I'm not surprised. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And it,
yeah. And so I thought that was kind of neat. That was my justification for getting the Steinhardt, which isn't that bad, but
no,
it's, yeah, I liked it enough, but it's just is what it is. I think I made a few bucks when I sold it, so got into, you know, stuff that isn't just a copycat. That's what I didn't like, is that it was a copy of a proper watch.
right. So you passed the Steinhardt one on. What did you get after that?
That, and then I got into the Hamiltons.
Right, nice.
Yeah, which I still I don't wear them anymore after I got this guy. I don't know why
Right.
that doesn't
What's
show
that
up.
you wearing?
This is I don't know what year it is. It's a blue automatic Speedmaster,
Nice,
which, yeah, it's
nice.
kind of nice color.
Blue
The
dial, is it?
one of the other things when I first started getting into them, the Moonwatch I always thought was pretty cool too. But then these automatics, there were certain things that I really liked about them. The you know, the shiny bezel,
Right.
the just little things like that. I thought they were pretty cool the way they were. And I got a chance to get one at a really good price at a decent enough time. So I said, yeah, let's go for it. And I'm glad I did. I even considered, I had the buyer's remorse, um, which went away within a couple days. And yeah, now I quite like it. So, and we're always thinking about what to get next.
Well, we're always dreaming about what we can get next, aren't we?
Yeah, and I don't think just throwing money to add stuff to fill a watch box, I don't think that's a great way to go about it. I'd rather, you know, get an idea of what I like, what I want, and take it from there. You know, I don't mind waiting
Absolutely.
a year to get something
Yeah,
new.
there's no hurry, is there? I mean, quality over quantity is what it's
That's
about, really.
yeah,
And also, like Carlos in the audience in the chat has done with his collection, it's if you buy it for a memorable occasion, you know, like a birthday or a new job or a birth of a child or something like that, you treasure the watch a lot more. I think, you know, if you buy for a landmark occasion, you know,
yeah,
that can often be a so slowly does it. You know, it's a gradual thing. And
yeah,
money's the main obstacle, isn't it? Of course. So you can't rush these things. For the average Joe like yourself and I,
Yeah,
we can't afford these things. It's a slow progression.
yeah, and yeah, absolutely. Quantity over quality is, you know,
It's not worth filling a box full of trash, is it?
no, not at all.
You open it up and I mean, we all like to collect odd bits and pieces. I mean, I collect all sorts of stuff. I mean, I've got some stuff here. I mean, I'll show you now. You can't wear your nice watches all the time, so I mean,
No.
I've got my let's just hold on.
Is it okay? Cool.
I got my Panerai here, which I wear a lot.
Yeah.
But then I bought a shitter version, which is a copy Panerai.
Yeah.
Which is about £10 off eBay. And it's just a quartz one.
Yeah.
And I wear that just to knock about in, and then I've got a Beta, which is an old Seiko Ani.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, and that's cool too.
It's like an Anadigi watch.
I like that.
So, yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of stuff that we buy. We buy all sorts. I buy all sorts of things. Like gummy watches that you stick toys in, they stick sweets in, and all sorts of things. So there's a whole host of things. Hold on, someone knocking at the door. I've got a curry arriving, so I'm just going to.
Okay, yeah, no worries.
Get my curry from the door. I'll be a second.
Will do. Yeah, and it's something you absolutely got a point there. Couldn't agree more. And especially when it comes to the money side of it too. The cheaper you buy, the cheaper it's going to sell for, and you're just losing. And I mean, it's not that it's that big of a deal, but I like to be pretty savvy when it comes to buying and selling used stuff. It's kind of a hobby.
Yeah, it's just something we're enthused about, isn't it? I mean, these watches don't have to be all gleaming, brilliant watches. I mean, it's great to have some. It's nice to just buy, odds and sods, isn't it? That we can look at and laugh at, and enjoy wearing. It's not all about the prestige. It's all.
No, and we've all got other hobbies too.
It's not about the prestige and showing off. It's like it can be like anything. It can be like a sort of, I don't know, whatever you want to collect.
Yeah, I've always been a collector of some sort of stuff, and
there's a whole variety of things.
Yeah, it evolved into watches. Started with Lego as a kid, then music as a teenager, tools, all that kind of stuff. So,
I mean, I've been on holiday picked up this fake Rolex. I liked it because it looks like it's an obscure reference. It's never been done before, so it's obviously not a Rolex.
But
it's a quartz copy of, it's got Rolex written on the strap of all things. It's a blatant copy.
Yeah. It's funny how creative some of those are.
They're never going to make it, it's just fun. So I buy nice watches, but I like all sorts of rubbish,
Yeah. That's actually the Hamiltons, that's the two that I've only got a couple. The two that I've got, they're unique in their ways. And, one of them is the Interstellar one, which everybody knows about, I assume. And it's cool. It's very legible. I like that about it. And then another one a Jazz Master.
Right.
And it's a really nice one too, as far as I'm concerned. Like some of them I might, like I might sell something. I don't know. get a few bucks for it, and put that towards the next one. And so I've got a year
Yeah,
basically to decide what to get next.
yeah, that's how it goes, isn't it? You buy, you sell, you buy, you sell,
Yeah,
and eventually you find something that you really like and it sticks, you know. So,
yeah. How long have you
I
been
mean,
into it yourself?
I'm 46 now, and I started when I was a kid with my first little Timex at school when I was about 8, but really got into watches when I was about 16, when I bought a military piece off a friend whose dad was a pilot in the army,
Oh, that's
and he pinched the watch off his dad, and I bought it off him for about £10 because he wanted to buy some cigarettes. So I got a really good deal on this army issue military watch. It's a Seiko Gen 3. It's called Gen 1. It's called, and it's basically a Seiko quartz chronograph, but it's a really nice military spec one,
that is
and I can't find it at the moment. But yeah, that was when I was 16 at college, and just leaving school and going to sixth form college, and then over the years, and that was just sort of like in the early 90s, and then in the late 90s, I got a real passion for watches, and I started to buy all sorts of things. I was taken over by all sorts of fads. Like there was a brand called Lockman that came up, which was sort of doing copies of Frank Muller watches, and I got real sort of Miami style. I got real sort of lured into some of their watches and bought a couple of them, but they were just automatic ETA movements, and they did a sort of oval shaped watch called the Nuevo, and I bought a couple of those because they had quite nice dials. And I knew I was never going to be able to afford a really nice watch like a Rolex or something. And eventually, it got to 2010, and I just got a new job, and I saw Kermit in the window of a jeweler's, and I, I knew that I knew that the Submariner was a significant watch for Rolex, and I knew that green was the color of Rolex, so this green bezel must be significant in some way, but didn't know the significance of the anniversary model that it was. So
oh,
I couldn't afford it new. I couldn't afford to buy it outright. So I bought it on finance, 2 years interest-free credit, because that's how I buy most of my watches, to be honest with you. I can't afford to buy them outright, so I buy them on finance, interest-free finance. So I bought the Kermit, and yeah, that was my first really nice watch in 2010. And then I started I started thinking, I was a bit ahead of myself, and I started thinking I was, a bit of a watchman then. So 2011 rolled round, and all the big watch craze had really taken off, and Panerai were really big. So I kept going to the next town, which had a Panerai AD, and I was really obsessed with these big watches. They did the really big sort of big masculine look about them, and the heavy duty in the history of the Italian Navy, and the sort of like what they'd done, and well, bombers in the war basically.
yeah.
And but just the heritage of the watches, and I got totally swept away with it, and I ended up buying a Panerai, the one that you see, yeah, this one. So yeah, I ended up buying this in 2011,
Nice.
and I was it's my daily wearer now, to be honest with you. And then in I put a total hold on buying watches. I couldn't afford any until about 2018, I think it was, when I bought my Z Blue Milgauss. And again, that was on finance, and I was really lucky to get a Rolex on finance. And and then I bought my baby Pro Prof, which is an Omega. In
That thing's cool. They're all.
yeah, I bought that last year off eBay. It was my first watch I bought off eBay, so it was a bit of a risk for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was the first one I've done on eBay, so I was a bit apprehensive at first buying off eBay, but you know, it went through smoothly. So that's the way Omega getting serviced at the moment before it starts its life with me. So yeah, that's how it's going. So yeah, I've been into it. So it's been I wouldn't say a fascination, but it's I've always been into. It's been one of those boys things, really, mechanical things. You know, like you say, Lego and
Yeah.
Meccano and always been interested in mechanical things. And you know, you're too young to drive a car at that age, aren't you? So you want mechanical things to play about with, don't you? And watches are one of those things. It's just a logical progression, isn't it? It's just, watches are mechanical things that boys can play about with, and it's a serious mechanical thing. It's not a toy, is it?
Yeah.
It's something that's taken seriously. That you think, well, actually, this is something that I tell the time with. You know, and that's a serious thing, telling the time, and it's not just about a toy that I'm going to dismiss and play with for now and then chuck away. This is something that I've got to learn how to do. It's like learning to write or learning to, you know, ride a bike. You know, I've got to learn to tell the time, and you know, this is going to be something I'm going to do, and it's something you learn how to do. So it's sort of great to. Have we got Carlos online now?
I think we do. We had
Hey, Carlos. We had a glimpse of a swimming pool, didn't we?
yeah.
The luxury lifestyle. Yeah,
Must
so
be nice.
so it was just a logical step to get into a boy's sort of
Boys and their
pastime, and
toys. Yeah, one of
boys and
those.
toys, exactly, boys and
Yeah.
toys, and it's one of those things that just you start and it snowballs. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
like with us all. Yeah,
Yeah. Carlos, are you around, buddy? Oh, let's see.
Carlos,
Carlos, get your back on here, buddy. Let's see.
Blue
I'll
Shirt's
try
getting
that.
home soon, I think, isn't he? So I
Yeah,
think he wants
that.
to jump on.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I'm definitely sticking around for that. Hopefully, you do too.
Yeah, definitely.
Getting the
Always
two
good
of
to have
you
Blue
on
Shirt
here,
on.
that's the perfect way. That's the two that I wanted to chat with on here on a proper working stream.
Yeah, on a
Yeah,
proper initiation stream.
yeah, exactly. So what else
So
was I?
where you based, Zippo?
Alberta, Canada.
Right, you're
Um,
in Canada, right?
yeah, just outside
Right.
of Calgary, which is most famous for hosting the '88
Winter
Winter Olympics.
Olympics.
Yeah,
Yeah. Eddie the Eagle.
yeah, yeah. That was something, eh? Yeah, it's
Yeah, wow.
there he is. It's quite a beautiful place around here.
Yeah, it looks
And I
that
moved
scenery you
here.
showed us. The scenery you showed us in that
Mm,
video yesterday was amazing. Just looked beautiful.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I should
the
have taken more.
mountains and the
There's
trees and the lakes and just
yeah.
beautiful.
There's one lake that we couldn't get to. The road was closed to it because of all the it's a big hill. But this lake is famous for being this gorgeous turquoise, like dark turquoise color.
Wow.
Um, Moraine Lake, and it's one of a kind. I think it's pretty much the only place on Earth that is like that. And
Yeah, beautiful.
yeah, it's all frozen over right now, of course. But yeah, it's just really amazing to see in person. I
But
I
that
got
must be amazing. It must be amazing living there and seeing all those environments in the different seasons. You know, when they're
oh
frozen over, and when they're in summer, and when they're when they're in the sun, and when they're in the snow, and
yeah.
must be amazing seeing them all in the different seasons. It's great
Because
scenery.
where are you? Where are you flipping? I moved to a different place. I think that I have more bad Wi-Fi connection on the other place.
Oh,
Yeah,
welcome,
we
Maybe
can hear you
here
Carlos.
is
now.
better.
Yeah, and as something I haven't been to Emerald Lake, I'll find out where it is and head there. If it's anything like Moraine Lake, then absolutely I'm going.
Yeah, hello, and that's something to everyone in the chat. Oh,
Yeah, glad you guys are here.
yeah, welcome
Mm.
everyone.
And
Great
where
to
are
see you
you
all.
flipping? Where in Canada?
Alberta, southern Alberta.
Ah, Southern Alberta. I, for
Yeah,
some reason, as you the other day you were driving by the Rockies, I
yeah.
was expecting on the other side.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
um,
Because
it
Alberta is to the east, no? Close to or not?
it
Am I
is.
wrong?
Pardon me.
Alberta is next close to or not? Or is in the
Not
British
really.
side?
No. Yeah. Alberta is basically on the east of the Rocky Mountains, and British Columbia is the Rocky
Yeah.
Mountains and then the
Yeah.
ocean.
Uh, uh, I,
So yeah,
I've been
it's
in British Columbia once. I really like it, that area.
yeah, and we're about an hour away from the mountains, and I don't go enough. Honestly, I come summertime, I'm just working too much, and so maybe on a long weekend you take a drive. But going in the wintertime isn't bad at all either.
Yeah,
It's
you're in a
Hmm.
really special place there. You really ought to make the most of it.
yeah, and then where I'm from, I'm growing up. It's basically been between here and Vancouver Island on the west coast, which is
Yeah,
like a whole different world compared to the rest of Canada.
Really,
Yeah.
right.
yeah.
So that's another nice place to go to as well. Obviously, it's an island, subtropical.
Uh, Vancouver is very nice.
Yeah,
I've only been in summer, and it was very nice. Nice weather, and I really like it.
I'd love to
Calgary.
come to Canada.
Yeah, it's
I've got a friend in Toronto.
nice. My wife's brother's there with his family.
Yeah,
Well, Calgary to Victoria via Jasper NS something. That's quite the trek, eh? That's kind of the long way around.
yeah. My kid was accepted on the Toronto University, but finally he decided to go elsewhere.
Right on. Yeah, hopefully my smoking isn't bothering anybody.
So, Carlos,
No,
Carlos, tell us about how you
yeah.
go into watches.
Uh, well, as I wrote on the chat, my next watch is coming. Is like my avatar, Charlie Brown watch, $35. That is what I am coming as immediate thing. And on, I will say long term as a, let's say, next, let's say, big purchase or something. In 2 years is our silver wedding anniversary, and maybe then, and for that time I am thinking on maybe on a Breguet or a Classic or something like that.
Oh,
That is,
beautiful.
yeah, that is
How
my
did you get
idea.
into watches? How did you get into watches, Carlos? What started it all?
Uh, Basically, was my parents gave me a bracelet as a gift when I was, I think, 25 or 20 or around, no, 20 years old. and I wore it for like 5 to 8 years, almost every day. Then suddenly I liked a Hublot Classic, 36 millimeters that I at that time I used to wear formal for my work, and it was a watch that I liked. It was also my daily wear for lot, well, I would say 7 years, 8 years, something like that. And then I purchased a Brigade Marine, but that was like, I would say 15 years ago, maybe less, maybe 12. And it was like a evolution coinciding with some good news, something that happened. And 2 years ago, we had a good business, and yeah, and I decided to purchase some Rolex as always in my to say something in my DNA is seeing my parents and my grandparents wearing Rolex, and was something that for me was something like uh, I really wanted, and yeah, that's the thing. And also, I used to purchase one coinciding with a specific occasions. On last year, no, yeah, last year, yeah, 1 year and a half ago, I I I sorry, my English, and I am feeling a bit stuck now.
That's okay.
It was my 50th year birthday. I got a Daytona. I was very lucky as I got it from the ID at the price. I didn't like it after wearing it for 6 months. I traded for the Patek for the 5196, and before coinciding with a big tax refund, and that for us was a very I purchased the day date at that time,
Nice.
more or less
Right.
coinciding with the different occasions, or sometimes you find the occasion and you have the excuse, and that's it. Nothing. Yeah.
Great reason to get something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. And I like it. The problem that I have is that once I have a new watch, I wear the previous watch pretty little, pretty little, pretty little. I don't. I do not consider myself as a collector, but for some reason, well, I have some watches.
No, me neither. I don't consider myself a collector, really. Just an enthusiast.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That
I
is.
think collector sounds a bit. It sounds pompous, really, doesn't it? So,
Mm,
Yeah. Become a collector, and then I think that's how you end up with a lot of just stuff that turns.
yeah. I tend to think you tend to think of collectors as people with huge collections, don't you? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I
I
tend to
don't have
try
a
and be a bit more
specific
modest.
objective. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a specific objective, and also maybe coinciding with I will be close to Craig in early April. I might try to do a kind of deal with Steve, like swapping my day just that after having the day date, I don't ever wear it for another thing, like a Speedmaster or something. I, it's something that I might do.
Yeah. I'm lucky. My wife is
Yeah,
encouraged.
here's another one of
Go ahead.
mine that I forgot to mention it. Oh, we got it in focus. It's not focusing, is it?
Oh, we got
There we go.
blue shirt on deck.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
an
that's
Amiga Seamaster
Hello,
on
Blue
a
Shirt.
beads of rice bracelet.
Hey, what's up?
Hi, Blue Shirt.
hey.
I am going to
How's it
move.
going, buddy?
I am going to move to a different place because I think that I have very bad connection. I might be disconnected, and I will join again in 1 minute if
All right,
it's the case.
Okay.
Carlos.
No worries.
Okay, Carlos.
Flippin', what's up, man?
How the hell are you, man?
I'm good.
Glad,
I'm good.
glad to have you here.
Oh, glad to be here. The Punters channel.
Yeah, there we go, eh? We'll start our own channel with blackjack and hookers.
Yeah, the Punters Palace.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't know. Were you able to hear all what we were talking about? Because I'd
I
like to
heard
get
most
you.
of it. I
Yeah,
heard most of it.
yeah, just kind of talking about.
I was like, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, what I've just been wondering with you guys, specifically you two guys, what got you into it? How long you've been into it, and kind of where do you go? Where do you expect to be? You know, is there a timeline? Because it's kind of a growing process, and not that I'm trying to compare. I'm curious about it.
Yeah, no. I mean, kind of like you and like Thomas.
I don't
You know,
think that is a specific timeline, in my opinion.
No.
yeah. I mean, I've always liked
I think that
watches from when I
it's
was a
a
little kid.
process or opportunity or some. No, I think, at least in my case, I think.
Mm-hmm. Bruce,
No,
I'd like to get your take on it.
yeah, I was just saying that you know, I've been into watches since I was a kid. You know, I had a Swiss Army watch, and when I was a kid, and one of the first of those red LED watches when they came out in the '70s. And it just, you know, it slowly grew. And I had, you know, like Citizens and stuff for a while, and then I just, you know, it progressed. I did Invictus, and then I did, uh, you know, and then I found TGV just like everybody else, and then I was, you know, did a bunch of mid tiers and stuff, and then just within the last, you know, 3 years or so, um, I've stepped it up.
Yeah.
But it's always, you know, stuff comes in and then stuff goes out, so I can get other stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
so you know, I'm not like one of these guys that has these big, huge, you know, big time collections.
Yeah.
I
don't think I
I'm just
ever
a
would
working guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
exactly.
never going to be that way either.
No.
I'm never going to be that way either.
Like, even if I won the lottery, I think I'd end up.
Join the club.
Yeah. You win the lottery and then you get one fancy one, and that'd probably be it.
Yeah. So I'm happy with, you know, what I got now, and I think I'm gonna just stay where I'm at, and maybe look for a dedicated dress watch, because I had to give up my JLC. So, but I'm not rushing into that.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take time.
You guys both have like kind of old school military.
Yeah, I have an Elgin from World War II,
Yeah.
government issue.
That's
It's
cool.
nice. I love that.
Yeah.
I don't wear it, but I pull it
That's
out of
one
my
thing.
box every now and again. Look at it.
Yeah. That's one. I don't have one like that. And I almost want to start asking around with my family. I've got a real, like, historically military family, and I wonder if there's got to be something floating around that's
Yeah.
been through some serious times.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Got to start asking around, see what's out there. Okay, there's even this is just a side story. A place north of here. One of my great uncles was a test pilot for parachutes,
Really?
and yeah, it didn't go so well on his last drop. Like,
Sounds bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now up north in the big military base, there is a spot called Drop Zone Buxton. And that's where he landed.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know the guy, obviously. This is all before I was born.
Right.
But that's where the mustache comes from, actually.
Ah,
He had one just like it.
nice. Nice.
Whereabouts are you, blue shirt?
I'm on Long
New York.
Island, right
Long Island, yeah.
right outside of New York City.
Yeah. Yeah, the wife wants to go there one day, and well, she wants to go there next Christmas, actually. So if she does,
Cool.
we're going for a beer.
Absolutely. Or 2 or 4 or 6.
Exactly.
So
Absolutely.
Zippo, what sort of watches do you gravitate towards?
Chronographs. I love chronographs.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah, that's. I don't know why. No, it's not like I use it for anything at all. It's just kind of what I like.
You like those subdials and the
Yeah,
busy layout.
yeah. I mean, I don't know why.
Lots of buttons to press.
Yeah, it just looked better. And other than that, I'm not even sure what I want next. Like I was leaning towards Tudor.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That's a good watch, man. I had the Tudor GMT, the Pepsi. It was a nice
Mhm.
watch.
Yeah,
Real nice watch.
the Black Bay, not the 58. I think the 50. If you're gonna get a diver, get the proper size. Get a 42.
Divers and pilot watches, should
Yeah,
be decent size, in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah. Agreed.
But are you purchasing for a specific occasion or just want to
No,
increase the collection?
I think I'm gonna be probably a 3-piece collection is all I want, and then that'll be it. I may rotate from there. If I find something I like, then it would take something really, really great to make me want to change my mind on that. Like this one here, if I swapped it out for anything, it would be a moon watch.
Hmm.
Nice.
But
I
I
love
might,
my moon watch. I love
yeah,
mine.
like there, as far as I'm
It's
concerned,
fun.
that is the coolest watch ever made.
Yeah. I have to
So,
agree with you on that one.
yeah.
Yeah. I might get one sometime. It's something that I would like to have it. And also it seems that it's very legible because that was the problem that
Exceedingly.
I had. Yeah, the problem that I had with the Daytona is that for me it wasn't legible at all.
Right.
Yeah.
I like it, the appearance of the watch, but to me, to my 51 years old eyes, wasn't legible.
Well, that you'll have no problem with, Carlos, because the man on the moon is, other than my Explorer 2, it's my most legible watch. My
Yeah.
eyes
Yeah,
are older than yours, and they're
yeah.
definitely going, and that's important.
Yeah.
In fact, I like the new one because I tend to like not big watches, and the new one is, but the price is something that's
Yeah, yeah,
hard to hard to think. But
yeah.
I've heard that they are considering on renewing the line, and that also the first Omega in space could be another good option
Mm-hmm.
too.
It could. It
That,
could. They're nice too. Um,
you
but if I'm not mistaken, I think that's a module, a chronograph module built onto a regular movement, just because the pushers sit a little above the crown, if I'm not
Mhm.
mistaken, on the
Yeah.
first Amiga in space.
Is that one? Okay. That's one thing that is a absolute deal breaker for me on the Speedmasters. That drives me nuts on the reduced. Like this one is it's a 39 mil.
Mm-hmm.
But the pushers and the crown are on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an ETA movement as far as I know. I don't know enough about this thing. I kind of jumped on it without knowing enough about it.
Okay.
But yeah, I have no regrets now.
No, it's a beautiful watch.
Mm-hmm. And even looking on Chrono 24, there's 2 or 3 of them on there, and that's it. It's, as far as I can tell, it's a little bit on the rarer side. Like I think it's from Japan, so that's why. Yeah.
Okay,
But
nice.
I don't think I'll ever see another one around here. That's for sure.
Yeah.
The guy's actually got a Schumacher for sale around here, and I'm gonna go take a look at it. He's trying pretty hard to sell it. He wants 2,500 Canadian for it, which isn't out of the, or no, 2,250 is what he's going to take on it. But I don't know. That seems a little redundant to have 2 of almost the exact same thing, just because the colors are a little bit different. I don't think that's a good idea, really.
Because
Do you like
what
any of
watch
the other?
are you wearing? What watch are you wearing now?
It's Speedmaster automatic.
Oh.
Just a little gaffer.
Do you like any of the other Speedy Zippo, like the Mark II or the Mark III?
Not really. I don't mind them so much. The racetrack dial on those, that's kind of their differentiating aspect to them. And that I'm not a big fan of. And I know I say I like busy dials, but that, and then those 70s style cases, I'm like the big cushion cases. I'm not a fan of those, really.
Right.
Like I just don't think they'd suit me. I don't have the wrist size for it. I think that you got to have some, yeah. I think that's about it. Like you've got that, what is it, Proplof?
Yeah, the baby Prof. It's away at service at the moment, so I can't show you that one. It's a shame.
How big is
a really
that
nice
one?
watch.
Mm.
That's only 39 millimeters. It's not very small. It's not very big. It's not as big as the actual Prof 600 or 1200. It's a much more wearable size. It's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a killer looking watch.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, Blue. Yeah.
And how old is that one?
It's a 70s design. It's a 70s watch. But
it is, eh?
the thing with mine is it's what's called a new old stock watch.
Oh.
So it's been made up.
That's great.
It's been made up of old parts recently.
Yeah.
So it's not got the original Bakelite bezel or patina on the dial or anything. It's and it was a bit cheaper than an original 70s one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's instead of paying about over £3,000, I paid about £2,000 for it.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Yeah, it's a. Some people say that they're not the real thing because it's a new old stock movement, new old stock assembly. Some people say they're not the real deal. Some people say they're Franken watches, but it's away at Amiga at the moment, getting serviced. So I'll get it back with papers from them. So
yeah, nothing that age is going to be completely original.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
exactly.
That's pretty much next to impossible.
No discrepancy.
If you enjoy it.
Yeah. Right.
If you enjoy it, that's
the only one that needs to love it is you, Tom. That's it.
Absolutely, yeah, my friend. Yeah, I enjoy it, Carlos. Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoy wearing
and it looks very good, really.
It does.
Yeah, thanks.
Are you guys into the whole 70s designs?
I
am
am,
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure.
I
That's
mean, you say like chronographs. I've been looking at that Zenith re-release, that Zenith Revival A384.
That's
It's a
killer.
beautiful one. Yeah,
It
it's a
is.
big, chunky, square, rectangular monoblock design. It's beautiful. It's big, chunky thing. Well, it's actually small. It's actually quite
Right.
small.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
only
that's about
37 mil.
37 mil. Yeah, 37 mil wide. But it looks like a big chunky thing.
Yeah,
But
because
it's
it's all
actually
squared off.
narrowed down proportions. Yeah.
It's very industrial looking. It's really cool. It's really cool looking.
I
But yeah,
gotta find that. I don't think I know what that one is
it
at
just
all.
came out like maybe 6 months ago.
Okay.
And they've
So
just
That's another,
released it on the bracelet as well, on this ladder bracelet, which looks really good as well, because it originally came out on a leather strap.
Mhm.
the like with the 70s thing, one, I don't know if the birth year watch, if that's important to anybody really. I've kind of
Yeah,
considered it.
It is.
It
I've
is to
been
me.
kicking
I'd love
around.
to get a birth year watch.
Yeah.
I've been kicking around trying to get, thinking about maybe getting a birth year watch. But the problem is because I'm older than all of you guys, so my birth year watch for me is 1963, and back then 34 mils was big. Back then,
Jumbo.
36
Yeah.
at the or 37 at the top, and I got a 7.5-inch wrist, and something 34 mils I think is just going to be too small.
Yeah.
So I've been tempted a couple of times, and I've been close, but decided against it just because. I don't know, but I'd love to get a birth year watch.
Yeah.
Yes, same with me. I haven't bitten by the vintage thing, but maybe in fact sometimes I consider to purchase a Speedmaster of the 68 would be my year. And the
Right.
other vintage that I will purchase, I think on the spot, if I will cross one, will be a Longines like the one that Einstein used, that one that is with a bit
Okay.
of cushion shape size. It's something that I will purchase if I will have the opportunity.
Yeah, there was a gold Longines that I was looking at in 1963 one for a while. Somebody finally bought it.
Just to give you an idea, Blue Shirt, this watch I'm wearing now is about 34 mil.
Well, it looks good on you.
So yeah, they're not too small. They're wearable.
Okay. Good to know. Thanks. That's a nice watch.
Yeah, that's cool.
It looks
So
good. And also,
they're wearable at that size.
Well, like with Carlos, I haven't really been bitten by the vintage thing, so I'm a little weary. But even though I have I have the Elgin, and I have my dad's little gold Hamilton from 1960. But
Nice.
but other than that, I've never really done the vintage thing, so I've been a little leery. But if something catches my eye, I definitely like to get something birth year, for sure.
yeah.
That's one thing that drew me onto the Baby Plo Prof. Actually, I originally tried about 15 years ago. Tried a birth year one on, and it was just a little bit too tight on the bracelet, so I didn't take it up. So, and I really regret that, to be honest with you, because I could have bought bracelet extension link, and
right.
Yeah, I really regret not taking that. So a birth year watch is something I want to track down, to be honest with you. I'd love to get a birth year watch. Something nice as well.
Yeah, I mean, like Carlos, I'd love to get a birth year Speedmaster, but a 63 Speedmaster is ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, such a shame, isn't it?
Yeah.
And let's say that I would like to purchase a 68 Speedmaster. How would you recommend to do it? Considering that I am a bit, as you say, a tire kicker. I am really not very comfortable or doing transactions with third party without trust and that thing.
Right. Well, I would
How would
definitely,
you suggest?
you said you bought from David SW before, right, Carlos?
Yes, I purchased the date
I would
from
check
David, but I
him. I would check the guy in Boston, European watches. A lot of
mhm,
people have bought from him, and he tends to have some vintage pieces on.
yeah. And in my understanding on the 68, there are the 3-to-1 movement and also
hmm
the following one.
Right,
In my
the
understanding,
861. Right, it was the
yeah.
transition year from the 321 to the 861. Now,
Hmm.
Clive has he has a birth year Speedmaster to 67, which is a 321. He got an
Hmm.
unbelievable deal on his. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, and I think I don't remember what year Rich's is. He has a transitional. He has an 861.
Yeah, and to check this the year of the watch, I understand that I should research regarding the serial numbers and look for
Correct.
to be certain about that. Yeah,
Correct. Correct.
yeah,
But any one of
hmm,
these, top-notch dealers,
yeah.
they're going to have all the information for you. And, any of these really big guys, their reputation is at stake, with every sale. So it's really rare that, they're either going to
I've
get the
never
wool pulled
tried.
over their eyes or try to pull the wool over your eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I've never tried a vintage with David SW. I have the feeling that he's more into, let's say, current watches. But
I'm sure he is.
yeah. By the way, the deal with him was great. He's great.
Yeah, he was good to deal with.
Yeah, great, absolutely perfect, really. The
That's
watch,
good.
they didn't have the watch on his stock, but it seems that they have a kind of a group. I understand a Facebook group or something that communicate with other people, and yeah, and mine came
Yeah.
from in fact from a Texas ID with my name in the card and everything perfect. The service is very good, and he's friendly. It's not the same experience as the AD. He's doing
hmm
deals, and the margin was. And yeah, but I was very happy with him. I also tried to source through him the 5196, but he wasn't able to source it for
Okay.
whatever reason.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to know, though.
Yeah, but it's great, and and the place it's a nice place. If you go around Orlando, it's a nice
hmm
place with things for the ladies too. Is yeah, it's nice. Yeah, a nice person.
Hey, blue shirt, blue shirt.
hmm
We got a
Yeah.
great comment here from NS something. It says, for about your birthday watch. Says if you're not going to want to wear it, a great option would be a Vacheron pocket watch of all things. Wow.
Oh,
Says he made them through the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
oh,
So
nice. I'll have to look into that.
there's something to consider. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I've always kind of hoped that since the 20s have rolled around again, that pocket watches would become,
Fashionable
A
again.
thing again.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 I
I
think that'd
have
be kind
an uncle of mine is a pocket watch collector, and he has an amazing collector with serious money there. He's really something that he loves, and he has amazing pocket watches. It's something
Nice.
that he really enjoyed a
You're
lot
onto
with.
something there, Zippo, because the way that people pull out their phones out of their pockets now, they might as well be pulling out a pocket watch.
yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah, yes. In fact, the problem that he's having is that he's looking for something like 17th century, 18th century that now goes in auction for a horrible prices. And
Right.
it seems that all the Arabs are purchasing that kind of pieces and something. He, he really loved it, that thing. Is
Yeah, that'd be something to get, like a 200-year-old machine like that.
yeah.
That's kind of mind-boggling
That's
going into
proper
that.
heritage, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and they are out there.
Yeah. Yes.
That's
Yes. The thing.
Sotheby's auction house kind of stuff, though, isn't it?
Well,
Exactly.
not always. You see, I mean, pocket watches, they're not, because they're out of favor. You can pick up some deals on markets and on eBay. You know, there are deals to be had.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, especially the American ones like
Hamilton.
Hamilton and Elgin and Waltham and Ball and those kinds from the late 1800s, early 1900s.
yeah,
Yeah, you can get those for a good deal.
Mm-hmm.
That might be
Yeah, should
something.
be a
That might
lot
be
for
kind of
that.
cool to have.
Yes,
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
definitely.
let's get the pocket watch revolution going, guys. Come on.
exactly. Start wearing the fancy hats and
Yeah.
suits,
There you
suits
go.
all the time. Nothing but suits.
That will be great. And guys, I understand that we are only have NS something watching us. Do you want to comment
Yeah.
or flipping? Will it be possible to not, let's say, put this video online once we finish? If we will decide to talk about something a bit more. The thing I am
What's that?
concerned about the issue with the current issue in the community, and I will really love to see Thomas and Blucher point of view regarding it, but I don't know if you feel comfortable talking about it or.
I mean, I don't
Sorry.
want to talk about anybody else's, any
No,
of
I
that
think we do.
nonsense
I
that's
think if we
going
don't
on.
talk about other channels, it's best. You know, I think we if we just stick to the punters channel topics, you know, that's a good thing. I think we've found a little
Exactly.
sanctuary here, which is a really good thing. I think it's brilliant. You've started this up flipping tip. It's great, and it's a haven that we can come to and you know, actually chat amongst ourselves and be ourselves without any pressures from any other channels or
Yeah.
and having to think about any other channels or you know, just it's our own little haven here. So it's a nice
I feel the
space that
same
we've
way.
got.
Yeah, I
Yep.
couldn't
Yeah,
agree
so
more.
I
And
think
it's something.
Carlos, if we
Can we get you in
if
here, buddy?
if other people, other channels get involved, you know, it's not a good thing. It's not healthy.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I am a bit uncomfortable about the situation because really both involved. I really have I empathy. I think that could be the word for both, and at the same time, I have the feeling that I want, or at least I have the feeling that I want to support, at least emotionally for that thing. But I don't know. Maybe it's
I
what.
understand. I understand, Carlos. I understand your position, and I think a lot of the community feel the same. To be honest with you, but it's because it's such a situation that's spiraled out of control. You know, it's nothing to do with it. It's not our business.
Right.
You know, it's best to leave squabbles in the playground. You know, to other people, and keep ourselves out of it. And we'll just we're on a new platform here now, and we'll just enjoy this as it is. I think that's the best policy. Leave other channels to get on with their own thing, and yeah.
Damn straight.
Agreed. Well said. Well said.
Yeah. That stuff sold last week.
Exactly.
Well, let's hope that the thing gets
Yeah.
better.
Of
Absolutely.
course. Of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Best
No
wishes.
doubt about
We've
that.
all got best wishes, yeah. But it's not our business to talk about it, really.
Right.
I'm going to
And
show you guys another something here that's not kind of on topic. So I got that Alpinist a while back, and it was notorious for having that really bad strap on it. And so
Right.
I ordered a leather NATO on Amazon. I got it, threw it on there, and it was cool design. I didn't think it was all that great. So then I decided I'm going to start making my own. And
Oh, nice.
yeah, I'll show you what I've come up with here. I don't know that anybody's into the whole leather NATO thing.
that looks cool.
Nice.
Like,
I love NATO straps. I really
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
do. Yeah.
like
Yeah,
So that's a
I like
leather one, is it,
pass,
Zippo?
the leather that I got, I only found it once. It feels like an old broken in football.
Right.
Nice.
Pretty cool. Turns out I like bracelets more than Ennis something. Oh yeah, absolutely not. I like bracelets more than leather. So now I got a bucket of these things kicking around.
Very nice.
Yeah. Got into a couple different little styles. This one is deer hide, deer suede
Wow.
on the back of it. Done some like real kind of old school looking stuff that I quite like. Apple, like leather apple straps.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So just another part of the hobby, the hobby kind of expanded into another thing and got me into doing other stuff. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, great.
Do you do a lot of things with leather?
Not really. When I have time, I do, but I'm still learning and failing quite often. More often than not, I do something wrong. But it's a process, right?
That's it, man. That's it.
Yeah. And it's another one. There's some really cool YouTube. Like I live my life on YouTube pretty much. I don't watch TV, can't see cable. I live on YouTube. And there's some really interesting leather craft channels out there too that are pretty good. You learn a few things that way too.
Yeah, you learn so much off YouTube, don't you?
Yeah.
It's like going to school a lot of the time, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's like
so. This leathercraft is another sideline you've got on the go, is it? I saw you've done the bowl. This leathercraft is a new sideline you've got on the go.
Yeah.
A new hobby.
Yeah.
I saw the bowl that you'd showed us earlier on that you'd been finishing off.
Yeah, that one. This is one that I did the inside of this.
That's lovely.
Well,
you've really polished that up, haven't you?
Yeah, the polish is this reflective paint kind of, and it really looks pretty bad compared to just a normal leather dye. I was going to give that one to the wife to hold her makeup brushes in, but she doesn't like it, so I got to make her a new one. Yeah. And the leather shop at Christmas time, they had a really good sale on the sides of cow. So you can imagine it's like 7 feet by 3 feet.
Really?
Wow.
And so I got
that's a lot of cow.
Just been hacking away at it, practicing some of the stuff.
Good for you, man.
It's
Yeah,
kind of
seems a good hobby.
yeah,
That really seems a hobby
yeah,
more than what's collecting, from in my opinion.
yeah.
Eh,
If I could
Yeah,
sell some
great,
of this stuff, I'd be laughing, but that
great
hasn't
stuff.
happened yet.
Is there any outlet? Do you have any markets, local markets, or trade fairs that you can sell things at?
If I had a big enough pile of stuff to take there, I would consider it.
Right.
But online, I post stuff from time to time on there, and every once in a while, I'll sell something.
Yeah.
The watch straps, that's actually been a good way to meet other collectors around here.
Uh huh.
Ah,
Yeah.
right.
Nice.
You find somebody who, wants something and hanging out with them for a little bit, talk
Good.
shop.
Yeah, it's all about networking.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's not a huge, as far as I know, there's no red bar. I don't think anything like that. There is one guy in the city. He's got a shop, and he's mainly like Seiko. That's kind of his big thing. He's really I follow him on Facebook, and like he's
Uh-huh.
posting. He does a lot of consignments,
Uh-huh.
mhm.
and like there's if you want something, you can get it from him. Usually, he can find it.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, and he's a good guy, really good guy. And he's Filipino, so the wife likes him too.
That's
Yeah.
always a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. That's one thing I'm lucky about is I'll let her wear my old stuff, so she's kind of encouraging about the hobby.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't get in shit for spending too much time watching the videos and looking at different watches.
It pays off.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. She's got a couple. Well, she's got one of her own, and now she wears my old stuff that I don't wear
Nice.
anymore. Yeah, and she wants this Speedmaster next, which means I get
Oh, really?
I get to keep shopping around.
Oh, no.
And one, out of curiosity, once you get, let's say, the cow, as you saw, as you told, you have to, I understand, to prepare to have the regular leather, or you already have the leather from the cow already prepared when you
Yeah,
purchase.
it's already
Good.
tanned and all that. I dye it myself.
Mhm.
Kind of nice.
So are you going for some funky tie-dye patterns then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this real shiny mirror ball stuff is kind of driving me nuts. I've got a whole tub of it now to figure out something to do with it. Yeah.
So you're dyeing those NATO straps yourself, or?
Those ones I bought the leather. You can buy little bags of kind of scrap material, and I make that out of those.
Right.
Yeah, the big half cow that I got is using for other stuff. It's not real high quality leather or anything, so just make what you can and make little, like I made a mouse pad out of it. I don't know, 4 or 5 of these little trays.
Oh, nice.
Keeps my hands busy.
I've seen nice
There you go.
straps made from old military pouches and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They look good.
Yeah.
Some of them already still stuff have some of the writing or emblem or whatever.
Yeah. That's
Look
cool.
good.
Right. Yeah. No, I've seen those too. Yeah, they look pretty neat.
One of my uncles is down in the like Louisiana, Texas, down in the south of the states there. I got him
Uh-huh.
bringing me back like some python or alligator hide to work on.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That would be good. And one question: do you have an idea about how does it work, a Stingray for watch straps?
How I don't know anything about the tanning of that stuff, but there is a guy on Facebook who does a lot of Stingray.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've been thinking for a year or something on purchasing a Stingray strap for the Breguet Marine, thinking that also could be go with the topic, but not sure really. We're not sure.
There, if you're on Facebook, there's a guy, Huang Dat. I'll find it. I'll figure out his name here. I've been following him for a little while, and that's kind of his specialty is Stingray straps.
What is the name? Tell me again.
Huang, HWANG DA.
HW. Can you spell it again? Sorry. HW.
HUONG. I think I should find it here.
Or if you could write it on the chat, I would really
Oh
appreciate
yeah,
it. I've seen something. I think that someone from Chile does it. That looks good. Marto, I think that is the name of the place. And I haven't investigated it a lot. It's something that sometimes come to my mind, but in fact, I am not sure if it
Mhm.
would make a lot of sense. Yeah, but it's something that it will not be a
Yeah.
lot of money anyway.
Did you guys hear about Kobe?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
heard that
saw
when
that.
I was out with my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it
wild.
was.
Eh?
It's pretty sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it.
I'm not huge
Yeah.
into basketball, but I mean everybody knows who he is, and
No, exactly.
a helicopter
I'm
crash.
Yeah,
not
it's a shock, wasn't it?
That's
a.
scary and sad at the same time.
It is.
Yeah. From time to time, we have that kind of sad news, unfortunately. But no,
Yep.
it's something. It seems that helicopters are more dangerous than regular planes, in my understanding.
Yeah,
They are.
never been on one. Another question you guys might have back onto the watches thing.
Hmm.
For a birth year watch that I've kind of been considering, and I'm not a huge fan of the 70s styles, even though I am 70s style. the
Hmm.
the Oyster Quartz Rolex.
Hmm.
It's
Ah, right.
Nice.
is that actually a what's his name? Gerald Genta. Is that a design of his, the Oyster Quartz, or was it just kind of inspired by him, and so you hear them mixed up?
It's up. Yeah, it's up for debate whether it actually was Genta, but definitely inspired by him.
Yeah.
But depending on what you read and who you listen to, I mean, there's definitely the possibility that he had something to do with it.
Yeah.
You should shoot an email to Clyde Flippin, because he has
He owns one, doesn't he? Yeah.
an oyster quartz. It's one of the rare birds, and he's got the 1503, as I think is the reference, which is the oyster quartz case, but it's actually an automatic movement in it.
Wow.
He knows a lot about it, so I would talk to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clyde's your man.
Oh, and as something is here.
Clyde's good.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
There we go. Right on.
And that's something.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Hello, Ines.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. How are you?
How you doing, boy?
Good, good. Very good.
Finally, the
Great
man,
stuff.
the myth, the legend that is NS something is on the air.
Yeah. It's the first time I join a YouTube stream. So
Really?
Pop in your
Yep.
cherry.
Well,
Yeah.
Flipping
exactly.
Flippo made history.
we should do this more often, eh?
Flipping, you got an exclusive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. This is it, Flipping Zipper. You're taking off now, big time.
Yep. Can't always join
You're the
because
go-to.
with the
You're the go-to channel.
with the kids and everything, it's got to be a good timing, but it worked out today. So
Nice. I like that.
Right. It's great to hear you. Right?
yeah, great to.
Yeah. Good to meet you, man.
Mhm.
Meet all you guys to actually be able to chat with you. It's kind of funny with the whole
Likewise.
online thing, how you can get to know a guy without hearing his voice, seeing his face, all that.
Yeah.
But get to know him, and
Sure.
you know who you like, who you don't like, all that. So this is cool.
Mhm. Yep.
I appreciate
Very cool.
you guys showing up.
Yeah, it's very cool. Very
Oh,
cool
thanks.
to.
Are you in
Thanks for putting it together.
Oh.
No, I'm in Montreal actually. So,
Montreal, yeah.
Yep.
And it was that'd be cool. That's one place. There's not many places that I want to travel to. That's one of them.
yeah, that's the thing about Canada. It's so big.
Yeah.
We a lot of Canadians don't travel to a lot of different parts of the country, which is
Yep.
it's just it's a shame.
I've only been as far as Ontario and never further east than that.
Yeah, I've been east in Quebec, but I've never been to the Maritimes, and we're just waiting for the kids to be old enough, and then we're definitely gonna drive
How old
out.
are they?
They're almost 10 and almost 8, so still a little bit hard for a really long drive, but we're getting there. So
Yeah. Oh, even I don't like really long drives.
yeah, that's the thing, right? You're waiting for the kids to be old enough, but when they are, it's like, ah, damn, now I actually have to do it. So,
I don't mind long drives in, let's say, roads that is something that you enjoy driving, but the kind of US roads like interstate to me makes me very, very, very sleepy.
Like
yeah,
where I went yesterday, that was pretty ideal. It's you're driving for 2 hours and you end up at some really beautiful spots along the way. That's nice. But traveling across Canada, that's a lot of driving.
yeah, it's in Canada. It's that Ontario from Ontario to Alberta. That stretch is really, really hard.
Oh
Really
God.
hard.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Saskatchewan and Manitoba.
Yeah, those are. It's really, really flat for a very, very long time.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Imagine Panama to Alaska. From Panama, we can drive direct to Alaska without changing road.
Yeah, that's it's one of the things that is too bad in America. I find that it gets a little bit dangerous once you get to South America or Central America. It would be really nice if it was a little bit easier to do. That would be a really great drive going from the Vancouver all the way down to Argentina or something like that. That would be very cool.
Yeah, definitely something dangerous. In fact, when my kid left to the university, he wanted to go driving his car from Panama to California, but it's something extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
Panama is fine, no problem. Costa Rica might be good, but the other places you could be in a problem, especially if it's clear that you are traveling with luggage and that thing. That is something that you cannot think.
Hey, and that's something.
Yep.
And that's something. Can you tell us your story? How are you going to watches?
So I was always into watches when I was a kid, right? So I'm in my early 40s. So I think that I'm still from a generation where everybody had a watch growing up, right? So it was a perfectly normal thing. And I was really, really into watches when I was really young. But back then, that meant Timex, Swiss Army, things like that. My dad had a really nice pocket watch that somebody stole at some point. But I was really, really into watches, and throughout my 20s, 30s, I really wanted something really nice, but I had other things to put money on, right? You're buying a house, you're starting a family,
sure.
and but I was always researching it and dreaming about one day when I get something, and finally, I had some business success, and I started buying stuff a little bit more high end, and I got to a point where I was able to buy a few pieces that are really cool, and it's actually very strange because when I was young, I really was into the sort of sport watches, right? Bracelet, and in a way, if I would have started buying higher end stuff back then, that's probably what I would own. But at this point, I'm a lot more into dress watches. So
Right.
maybe that was a good thing that I had to wait a little bit. So,
Yes, your collection is amazing. It's amazing collection. Very, very
thank you.
nice.
Certainly
Thank you.
is.
I've never seen your collection. I don't think. Is it
Uh,
Well, you got to look up his review. Bill Sanders reviewed his collection.
okay?
Is it a Bill
It's a
Sanders
great
review?
video.
yeah, there is, and I actually have a picture of it. I don't know if I can share a picture on here. If I can only share screen, let me see what I can do. No, I might have to. Let me see. No, well, look, it's a small collection, right? And I don't have one of those crazy, $200,000 collection.
None of us do.
Yeah, and nor would I want that, right? I definitely believe in buying and keeping for life.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to buy too much and then have to get rid of watches. So right now, mechanical watches wise, I've got 6 watches. I have a Tudor Pelagos. I have 3 Jaeger LeCoultre. So 1 master control date, sector dial, a master chronograph, and a geophysic true second. And then I have 2 Mosers, 1 white gold center second Endeavor, and 1 steel blue dial Pioneer. So
They're Moses, aren't they? H. Moser and Chi.
Yep. Those are. I was also very lucky. A lot of the watches I got great deals, and a few I was actually able to purchase in Canada, so that was good. No taxes. No import duties, I should say.
That's
Oh,
huge.
lucky
Right.
you.
Yeah.
That's great.
The Mosers, I think I got into them right before I think Moser took off a lot. Moser is this company that their older models were still available at great prices, but anything that's that came out in the last few years, like maybe last 4 years or so, doesn't get discounted that much. And the Pioneer, the sports model, I got it, I think, right before it started going up in prices, not going up beyond MSRP, right? That's I'm not trying to imply that, but going up on the secondary market where you can't necessarily get an amazing deal. You can still get great deals, but maybe not a crazy deal. So I think they're a little bit closer to MSRP now on the used market, but you can still get great deals, I find, on Mosers. So
For now.
Yeah, wow.
Yep.
It's probably gonna. That's one of those that seems like it's gonna explode next.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing about Mosers and a lot of independents is that they don't make that many every year, right? So, so Mosers they make a little bit below 1,500 every year. So,
Wow.
if you think about that, it means that in a year, if you look at Paddock makes, I think in 2018, they made 62,000 watches.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
So, it in 1 year, Patek Philippe makes the same amount of watches that Moser makes in 48 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, there are good deals, but at some point they run out.
Yeah.
So so I'm really happy. I don't want to grow the collection too much. I'm probably thinking about getting 1 or 2 more watches. That's it. I know we all say that, and then we end up buying 5, but I think 1 or 2 is probably as much as I want to go, and I'd probably like to get something a little bit high end for the next one. So it might mean having to save for a year or maybe a couple of years. I don't know. Maybe I'll get lucky and some, the right business conditions will arise that I'll be able to get something. So, yeah.
What is? Do you know the number or the name of the review video? I guess they're not all numbered.
Yeah, they're not numbered. I think he called it Hughes.
Perfect collection or something.
Yeah, perfectly selected collection or something. Look, Bill Sanders was really, really nice and complimentary about maybe more than I deserve about the collection. So, yeah.
Well, he was very nice when he reviewed my collection too. So
yeah, he's always
he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. He's such a sweetheart.
He really seems that way. And the one thing I like about Bill Sanders is that he's into watches and horology, right? I think a lot of the people out there are into watches as luxury items, right? They don't care about the horology. They don't care about, they don't even buy it because of something that happened in their lives or for an event. Right, the event is they got money, right? Like they did. They don't see it as, I sold my company. It's a great event. I buy a watch. They see it more as, I came into X amount of money, and I'm going to buy what gives me the most flash for that money. And I think a lot of people out there are like that, unfortunately, in the YouTube community. But Bill Sanders is one of those guys that really is into watches and likes watches. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
He seems a really nice and authentic person there.
Mm-hmm.
Even his comments,
he really is.
Replies to a comment, he's a sweetheart every time. Just nothing but nice things to say.
Yeah, no, and look, I'll again, I don't think we want to talk too much about things that happen in the community, but that's what we need, right? That's that's great. I think another guy that's like that. We need. Yeah, another guy that's like that is ID guy, right? Although he comes at it more looking at the design of things. Which I think is fine, right? It's something that people look at. You don't just look at the movement, right? I think he's the same way. It would be kind of cool if they did a collaboration because they both look at something very different in watches, but very complementary.
Exactly.
Bill's show is masterclass in horology. And I'm watches 101. So watching his videos, I don't know what he's talking about half the time, but I'm glad he's out there to, making the content. You learn something every time you.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, that is my case. I like watches, but I try to learn about them. But I am not in any way have the I might have the time, but I don't have the motivation to go really on deep on the hobby. That is
Yeah.
my thing.
Like I'd be
No, I hear you,
scared
Carlos. I hear you.
to invest in a independent brand. I know nothing about them at all. I've
Well,
heard the
Most
name.
are nice.
I think they're really good resources if you want to learn about independent brands, and it's interesting because there's a great channel out there called TikToking. It's the guy that runs it is I think his name is Steve Halleck. I know the last name is Halleck. I think his first name is Steve. And he's very honest about the fact that he's a dealer, right? So he deals in extremely high end independents. And he's talked about sources where you can get a lot of information about them. And he made a video about value in independence. And it was actually interesting because when you look at a lot of independents, a lot of them gain value. I know we don't want to talk about value retention, but a lot of them gained a lot of value at a much higher rate than the brand names like Rolex and Patek. So it was actually a very interesting video. But yeah, it's to me the thing about independence is that, at least for me, that seems to be where people are taking chances and innovating right now. And there's stuff out there that's I don't want to pretend like it's super affordable, but there still is some affordable or relatively affordable stuff out there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, no, that's a great channel. You turned me on to that, and it's definitely something that I don't know a lot about. So I'm enjoying watching his. He does streams every like Friday afternoon, like around lunchtime here on the East Coast, and it's interesting.
It's interesting. What was that one called?
It's called TikToking. And I'll leave a comment on the video after if you want. But yeah, it's really cool, and he does like podcast style videos. He does Q&As, like Blue Shirt was mentioning, and then the other type of video that he makes is video reviews about the watches that he sells or watches that he owns. Yeah, it's like really super high end and stuff like that. So, one-off Carry Voutilainen, things like that. It's really cool, and he's really a watch guy, right? He used to like run a forum and stuff, and I think he ran the U.S. operations for MB&F also at some point. So he's a real watch geek.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
That is cool. I can't.
If you guys ever get a chance, come to New York and come to Watch Time in October, because besides mainstream brands, there are boutique brands. Carrie Voutilainen has been there the 2 years I've gone there. Grubel Forsey's there. We were myself and one other guy and Bill Sanders. We were talking to Stephen Forsey for about 15-20 minutes. Very interesting guy. His watches are ridiculously expensive. I could never hope to even imagine to own one of his watches one day, but very cool guy. And he was just talking to us like, they're just explaining the history, how he got started the company, and it's just it's very cool. It's just it's a nice setting. There's plenty of watches there. It's all watch nerds, and it's just it's a fun time. I can't recommend it enough if you guys ever get a chance to come.
Yeah,
it's in October.
It's in October. Yep. It's a Friday night and during the day on Saturday.
I almost made it this year. It's just family stuff came up, and I I couldn't. But yeah, it's really, really. I've been really looking at that for the last couple of years, and next year hopefully. It just didn't work out, and the thing is, it's in New York, so for me, it's I don't even have to go, and if I do just
Yeah,
a Saturday,
you're an hour away, and it's something.
yeah, it's an hour
away
away
on a
so,
plane.
Mejor una sartén, ¿eh?
so that's what I was planning, but unfortunately my plans changed. I actually had the ticket booked and everything, and it was really cheap for some
Yeah, no, I
reason.
know.
The
It was,
ticket, yeah.
yeah. Gio was going to come down too, and something came up with his mother wasn't feeling well, and so. But one of these years, the guy's gotta come down. It's well worth it.
No.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it will be difficult. I already traveled several times to US on the year. At that time, no, I will not be able. In fact, I will be in New York by early April, for 3 days or something like that. But only
Oh,
then.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, October would be tough for me
Very cool.
generally, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know it's not a great time, but great time of year. But it's an awesome event. I know they
Yeah.
do one in Los Angeles as well, later in the year or earlier in the year. I forget when they do it in LA, but it's just really, really cool. There was, I don't know, 25, 30 different brands there, and like I said, it ran the gamut from high-end boutique stuff to Oris was there, and Bremont, and Jaja Lecoute, and Breguet, and Grand Seiko, and Omega, and Moritz Grossman, and it just ran the Chrono Swiss, and Geo, and so many, and there are a whole bunch of others, but just it ran the gamut of from the lower end all the way up to real high end boutique stuff. MB&F were there. The guys in RGM, the guys in Pennsylvania, he was there. And they do seminars, and it's really cool. Really
Yeah,
cool.
that does sound pretty awesome. I really wanted to see stuff like Kelly Leinen, the Grupo Force, the
And it's literally NS. It's him. He's
yep.
there represent. There's nobody. All these other booths have 3 or 4 reps, and then there's maybe a guy in charge of the owner. But it's just him and his watches. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. No, that's what
so
was
cool.
That's what's so interested me about it, and that's what's so cool about these little independents too, right? You get to talk to those people. Like one year, I don't know if it's this year or the year before, but Moser was there, and like the night before, like a bunch of people on the Moser owners Facebook group that are in New York, a bunch of them were went to have dinner with the CEO of Moser, right? It's so cool to be able to talk to the actual watchmakers or the people that are running those brands. I mean, it's really cool. And then to see some stuff that you may never see outside of that setting, right? Like one that really interested me to see this year was, last year, I guess, was Moritz Grossman, right? Because, I mean, those guys make what? Like,
agreed.
I think they make between 250 and 500 watches a year.
Right.
I mean,
If that. And that was the other thing. I got a chance to talk to the CEO, and she was, showing me all the different, all the watches that they brought him, and she was literally explaining to me the new model that they brought out with the with the movement that I forget what it's called, but instead of a rotor, the movement or it pivots back and forth.
Yeah, it's
They
like
went back in their archives
mhm.
and they pulled out an old design and that they've revamped it and redone it. It was totally fascinating stuff.
Yeah, that watch is super cool. It's a kind of a reimagination of an old bumper automatic, right? So it
Yeah.
goes back and forth,
Exactly.
but instead of being
Right.
like a big rotor with springs at each end, it's like this really super elegant hollow. It's basically kind of like a trapeze or a pyramid, however it is, or a triangle, and it just like swivels from one side to another. It's just so elegant and cool. And by
Exactly.
doing it the way they did it, it's just like this little, basically like this little piece of metal going around. So you still see the entire movement. It's really, really cool. Yeah, no, it's fun because those are things that you may, you're never going to see otherwise, and it's
Right.
really, really cool.
It's like a brand new.
It's also not every day that you get a chance to talk to a CEO or an owner.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing a brand new innovation like that, brand new design, that would be something wild. Like, does anybody else do those?
Very, very, very cool.
Yeah.
There's
The original automatics were like that, in my understanding, no?
yeah, the original automatics were like that, but it was really like a normal rotor, right? So like what you're used to seeing, like I don't know, a quarter circle that's attached to the center pivot. But then what they would have is that at each end of like, let's say, a half circle around the back, there was a spring, right? So then they called it a bumper automatic because basically your rotor would keep going from one end to the other on this track, right? So it would never like go around completely. So yeah, it was very similar, except really not that elegant. So yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah,
That's
this was
another
more
brand.
like it swung back and forth a little bit like a pendulum, but not really. But it was just cool, and that was the back of the movement. But the dial was gorgeous, and the hands that they use are so thin and elegant. It's just they're an incredible brand, and you don't really see them around. So it was just really nice to get up, to actually put one on your wrist and look at it up close. And that's the other great thing. I had when I went last year, I had one of those Beauvais recitals, the big dome. And it's like a $400,000 watch, and I'm there with the owner and the watchmaker, and I'm looking at it, and it's just like, yeah, go try it on, put it on. So I'm like, oh my God, I was afraid to move wearing it.
Yeah. Don't drop it. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's the Beauvais, the astronomic recital with the globe, and yeah, those are just they're amazing. It's
yeah.
I don't even know if there's any kind of watch trade shows in Toronto, Vancouver.
Well, here's a funny thing, right? So, I'm researching going to Watch Time in New York. So, I start thinking, hey, I should Google if there's anything in Canada, right? And I find something. I think it was in September or maybe late August in Montreal, in old Montreal, in a really, really, really swanky private club. Right, it's a really cool place. And I start looking, and it looked like it was a really, really high end event, but all the brands were really low end brands, right? Like I think maybe the highest end brand that they had was like Talker. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that brand. It's like a
No idea.
kind of like a little micro brand thing that makes like, you know, those 70s designs homage, right? Kind of like that that Zenith that you're looking at, Thomas, but like really badly made with the more square cases and like you know, like really that looks like a $25 watch, right? Not a really nice Zenith. So yes, it was in a really nice place. It looked like they spent a ton of money, but all like, you know, I don't want to. I hate to be, you know, putting down brands and stuff because I always say I like all watches, but really not. I guess the best way to put it was kind of uninteresting watches, right? So, yeah,
It's a shame, but it's not. Yeah, can't really say I'd be surprised at that. Anybody who's in the business is just going to go down to New York for the good show.
I would think that there would be a market in Vancouver, right? Just because of all the Asian market in Vancouver. That's why they do have things like, you know, the F. Pigeon dealer is there, the Moser dealer. They're all. It's called Palladio. It's a really, really nice dealer. But you know, for a guy like me, Vancouver's not really that helpful either, right? It's a 5-hour plane ride, so it's not great. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, it's I shouldn't complain because New York it's going to be so easy. So you may as well do that, you know.
And also, it's a very fun city to go anyway. It's really fun, really a fun place, to, at least to me.
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be.
Yeah. I really love New York. I think that I will go every year at least once. Now I think that I go every 2 years or something, but it's a place that I love. It's amazing place.
I used to have to go to New York for work. Like there were years that I'd be there like once a week almost. It's a nice place, but you know, I know they're changing it, but I used to always have to fly through LaGuardia, and that's not the nicest place in the world. But it's a fun place, and it's close, at least for me. And no, really, it's a nice place. I'll definitely try to be out there for the show this year. So who knows? Maybe I'll even have a new watch by then. So.
Yeah, that will
nice. There you go.
Yeah,
is it true that you can just get tickets to Saturday Night Live? How do you do that? Does anybody have any idea? Are they free? That's one thing I want to do if I go there.
A lot of those things are. You gotta like write to NBC or go on their website. But yeah, a lot of those shows are, the tickets are free. You just gotta, you know, you gotta get them in advance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd want to do that too. Go in there.
There's a lot of cool stuff. A lot of cool stuff to do, and a lot of cool watch shopping.
Yeah, that's the one thing I never did a ton of watch shopping there, because every time I was in New York, I was always so busy, right? That I'd either just have a few minutes to go buy like some souvenirs or something, and I walked past a lot of them. But yeah, next time I'm there, I also have to take some time to do that. But it's not too bad here in Montreal. We have a few ADs. Here we actually have one AD that has like everything except for Patek. That's like we basically have one AD that has Patek, Parmigiani, and maybe a couple of other brands, and then we have one AD that has Rolex, Tudor, pretty much all of the Swatch brands, right? So Omega, Breguet, everything. And they also have pretty much all their Richemont brand as well, right? So GLC, Vacheron, everything.
Yeah, that covers a lot of bases then.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. They even used to have AP, but AP has been trying to get rid of dealers, right? Because they want boutiques. And I think
Right. Yeah, one opened up just by me, and well, not too far from me, an AP boutique, and they were actually. It's a chain. It's called London Jewelers, and they have Rolex and Patek, and well, they had AP and Tudor and Omega and Cartier and Chopard and Zenith and a whole bunch of different brands, Grand Seiko. But AP pulled out and they opened up a boutique right next door to it. So the last time I was over there, it had just opened up a couple of weeks, and it was cool, and they were very nice in there. You know, they had no steel Royal Oaks. It was only gold pieces and solid gold, and 1159s. That they had all. That they had a bunch of them, but code 1159s.
That's kind of hilarious because I think the only thing that they really sell are the steel Royal Oaks.
Or Royal Oaks, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
I tried on a solid rose gold, 15500, and man, what a beautiful watch. But you know,
yeah,
I will never be able to afford anything like that ever.
Yeah,
But
they're
boy, was
they're
it
nice watches, but I find that they're watches where horology wise, right? You're leaving a lot of money on the table when you're buying something like
You
that
are.
because
You are,
it's
and you're paying the premium for for all that gold.
yep.
No way is all that gold worth the money that you're paying for it, but
No,
because it's
definitely.
in AP, and
You know,
so, but you're absolutely right. You could go spend your money a lot wiser buying a Longa, and that's one thing. I haven't been to their boutique yet, but in Manhattan, but I'm looking forward to going there. The great thing about them, I don't know about with other brands, but if you go on their website and you can request the catalog, and they send you. They sent me their complete catalog in book form. They sent me a price list.
yep.
They sent me a handwritten letter. They sent me emails. They're like, anytime you want to come in, stop in, just let us know. We'll be happy to have you. Just really, and again, there's no way I'm going to be buying a Longa anytime soon. But
Yep.
it's just they're just super super nice, and the catalog is amazing. It's literally a book. It's a bound book they send you.
If you look on the price list, there's I don't know if it's the same with yours. On mine, it's got price available on request. They don't even put it in writing.
Yep.
What that price is.
Yes.
Yeah. The when I requested that catalog, actually, I requested it and I didn't get it right for like a few months. And so then you're not going to call and complain, right? I just requested it again. And I actually got an email apologizing, saying, "Oh yeah, we remember you, and we realized that you fell through the cracks, basically for the catalog." And they actually sent me the catalog overnight with FedEx. And so the next day I got the catalog. It's like, I don't need that fast. And with the price list and everything. And then the year after, I got it automatically. So last year was the second year I got it. I didn't even have to request it. They just sent it to me. So yeah,
That's cool.
and the JLC catalog is also very nice if you request it. Yeah, it's Lange is a really cool brand. Another brand that doesn't produce a lot of watches every year. So yeah, a lot of people. It's funny because I remember on other streams, on live streams like years ago, a lot of people always complaining. Well, Lange, they're watches that you don't, that people talk about, but they never buy, right? Or uh, things like that, right? Until you realize that they just, they don't produce many watches.
Right.
I think it's in the thousands, right? Like something like 5,000 or something. I'd have to Google it, but it's a
Something
very
like that.
very low
Yep.
number. So you're not
Yep.
going to see that many.
They were
out
at
there.
watch time, right? They were at watch time as well, and I spent a good 15, 20 minutes talking to one of the watchmakers, and he let me try it on a datograph and Zeitwerk, and I was just like, just in awe. I had my mouth open. I was just like looking at these watches, and you can see and just the quality, and it's just amazing. Their movements are amazing looking. It just flat out.
I've never been
To
lucky
me,
enough to see
the
a
most
Lange in the metal myself, but they're just look stunning in the
their
pictures,
movements
don't
are
they?
amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah,
People
the
talk
pictures
about
don't
the
do
grail
justice,
watch.
Thomas.
They look very good. They look very good. When I purchased the Calatrava, I was in depth considering also Lange and the Vacheron Patrimony, and in fact, I was able to see everything together in a boutique near to San Diego, and yeah, but for me, I don't know what happened. I felt the call for the Patek, not for the Lange. Maybe it was a bit thicker, or I don't remember. It was something, but
Well, Carlos. Here's the thing, right, about Patek versus Lange and any other brand. The most important thing, right, is that you get something that you really, really want. That way you
yeah,
Absolutely.
actually, you end up with watches that you want because,
Absolutely.
and here's the thing, right? I'm not into Rolex, right? I don't own a Rolex. I'm not that into certain Pateks, although there's some Pateks that are really, really like, um, but I don't think they're bad watches. And I think that if somebody really, really likes it, they should really get it. I think
yeah,
there's nothing worse than somebody who owns a Rolex and doesn't actually like it. But that's true for
Right.
any brand, right? I really,
yeah.
really like Moser. I really like JLC. But what's the point of owning a Moser or a JLC if you don't like them? So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, the same that happens to me with Rolex is what happened to me with Patek. My father has a Patek that was the engagement gift from my mother, but that by the way he hasn't serviced it in 55 years. He only wears it like 3 4 times per year, but he hasn't ever serviced it. Uh, is and it's something that to me, yeah, is that occasion that I saw since I was a kid. My father, that on the very good occasions, he wore that Calatrava, and yeah, it's something that is part uh, of me for
Mhm.
whatever reason.
Yeah, it's part of your family. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but what do you think about that? Never service the watch in
Well,
55 years.
mm, I,
Yeah,
I think he's pushing it at this point. I think it.
yeah,
So here would be my big fear is that right now, if you send it to be serviced, they will have to change some parts, right? For sure. There's probably like a
Right.
gear or something that needs, but you're probably not in a bad position, right? You're going to be okay. You'll get it serviced. It'll come back. It'll work like new. The risk that you're taking now is that you at some point it might get damaged, and not like simple damage, right? Like let's say your mainspring breaks or something, right? So I think
Right.
you're getting to a point where that watch should get serviced as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So that you can keep it for the next 55 years, right? Without having to put,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
$10,000
but
in it.
my father, that is more or less what I told him, but he has no idea about doing it. Also, by the way, I check and considering the time, and it seems a nice piece. It's not very expensive. It's like $8,000, and it has a integrated gold bracelet and looks great. But it's and probably servicing it could be, I don't know, $1,000, $2,000. I don't know what would be the
Mhm.
price to.
Well, if it's
Well,
something bad,
the good thing is with Pat. Yeah, I was just gonna say the good thing with Paddock, they'll service anything. They're not like Rolex where,
Yeah.
at a certain point they stop servicing vintage pieces.
yeah, they will, and it's there's a lot of stories out there. JLC is sort of the same way. There's a lot of these brands for very very old models. They'll even go out and go into their museum and get like old equipment, or they have like the punches for the old gears, right? They'll find it and they'll actually get make those parts for you,
Yeah.
and they'll fix it. It's it's a really really cool thing to do, and but you can't blame Rolex either. I think they make 1 million watches a year. They're a lot more of a consumer brand more
Part of
than
the
anything
revenue.
else. Yeah, at some point you can't expect them to service those forever, right?
No, they're going to run out of parts, aren't they, eventually?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I hope
I've-
that a lot of time passed, because probably I understand that probably if anybody is going to service that watch, probably will be myself. But I expect to a lot of time
Yep.
until the time. Okay,
Mhm.
but
Is lifetime
but
warranty a thing with any watchmakers?
I don't think it is. They are slowly increasing warranties. So a lot of brands in the Richemont family are increasing it to 8 years. I think JLC was the first. Now Panerai does it, and other brands do it. And what's really cool about the way that JLC did it was that if you bought watches after a certain date, I think in 2016, you could get the warranty extension. So on 2 of my JLCs, I actually got the balance on the 8 years from the day they were purchased.
All right.
And yeah, so 2 of them I think still have like 4 years maybe of warranty. But a lot of these watches, they may not have a lifetime warranty, but the service charges aren't that high. And I think there's a Kari Voutilainen owner that commented on the TikToking podcast or Q&A, and take this with a grain of salt, right? I don't own a Kari Voutilainen. I don't know if that's true, but the guy is supposedly an owner, and he said that Kari Voutilainen, I think the service cost is something like $500. It's ridiculous, right? For a watch that's, I think a Kari is like $100K and above, right?
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
That's cheap, isn't it?
yeah, and
That's good value for a watch that costs that much.
yeah, especially for a watchmaker that makes, I think they make, is it 30 or 50 watches a year? So
That's
Something
not
you know,
like that.
obscenely small amount, isn't it?
He
Yeah.
trusts himself. He trusts his own work.
Yep. Well, I think the way they put it is that they do it also as a service to the clients, right? Because at the end of the day, you have a person that's, coming to you, and look, they make 50 a year, so there's a waiting list. You have to pay them, and they start making your watch. So you're trusting a watchmaker with $100,000 or
Yeah.
more of your money. When they're an independent. So I think in that case, it's the least that they can do, right? Give you amazing care, customer care after you bought the watch.
Yeah, you're buying into the brand, aren't you?
Yep.
And just out of curiosity, any of you guys, have you ever tried to do some watchmaking to disassemble a cheap watch or whatever?
No, I'm tempted because of what Bill Sanders has been doing, right? But I'm not. I've done. I I can handle tools. I can do stuff with my hands, but that has to be super precise. And I think we're all, anybody in this kind of hobby or that has this passion is probably really, really gets into hobbies, if you know what I mean. And I have these nightmares of, if I try that, I'm going to buy like, $10,000 worth of tools and equipment and a bunch of movements. And then,
No, but I checked. I was close to try something. I saw online course, and it seems that like the tools wasn't very expensive, and the movements to, let's say, play a bit wasn't a big money. The thing is the time,
yeah,
basically.
it's time, and it's also a rabbit hole, right? You don't.
Yeah,
I feel
definitely.
you start.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you start, and then you're going to start thinking, well, I need a dedicated desk for this, and
Yeah. I need a workbench.
Yeah,
And then you need a room,
need
and then
these
you need your
tools.
office.
yeah. It's like when you have to do something around the house, and you get really, really into it, not because you have to do that thing that you have to do, like put up some shelves. It's because you're going to get to go to the hardware store and buy a bunch of tools and equipment, right?
Yeah. More boys' toys.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I know I don't have the patience for it. I mean, I have a little watch kit that my stepdaughters got me for one Christmas, and I'll resize a bracelet, but that's about it. Putting a watch together that's above my pay grade.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I'd have the manual dexterity to do it, to be honest with you. It's a fiddly little business, isn't it? It's romantically, I'd love it, but it's a very romantic idea, and I'd love to have a go, but realistically, I don't think I've got the dexterity to do it, to pull it off.
Yeah, but it wasn't expensive. It wasn't, the online course wasn't, it was very reasonable money, and the movements to start on the tools. I think that to go into the rabbit hole could be like $300, $400, that kind of money, not a huge
Yeah.
amount,
Right.
but from there, for sure.
I guess the cool way to do it would be like Bill Sanders described how he did it, right? If you live near New York, it's to actually go and take those classes. I forget the name of the organization that he took.
Yeah.
The horological.
Yeah. I guess that would be the fun way to do it, right? Because you go and it's a class where everybody's sort of like us, right? They're all enthusiasts, basically. They want to try their hand at it. Yeah, it's. I remember when Bill Sanders described when he took the class that I think he was wearing his Jorn or something, and I don't know if it's somebody made like a comment like, "Hey, don't try this on that watch." After
Right.
yeah, that was funny. But speaking of watchmaking, guys, but I don't know if you caught the Philippe Dufault interview
I saw
this
that.
morning.
Yeah, that was brilliant,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Really
That-
great
No, I
interview.
didn't. Not
What
yet.
a
Yeah.
great interview that was. Yeah.
on Watchbox. It's actually a really cool interview, and I highly recommend it. It's really cool and fun, and really honest interview.
Really insightful. Yeah.
Yeah, really insightful, and yeah, guys, I think I need to go feed the kids now, and so it was really great.
No worries.
Yeah, great
Yeah.
to chat to you
Yeah.
about something. Great to
Yeah,
hear
it
you.
was.
Great to
It was
chat
great.
with you, and
And
You're a
Great,
fountain
Dennis.
of you're a fountain of horological knowledge, my friend.
Yeah.
Honestly, we've got
Yeah.
to do this again.
Thank you,
We
and yeah,
definitely got to do it again.
we really have to do it. So really, guys, if the timing's right, I'll definitely hop on. So it's really great. You
That's
have
great.
a really nice channel, Flippin'. It's really cool. So I will talk to you guys another time. Okay.
Appreciate you
Okay.
being
Yeah.
here, man.
Have a good
Yeah.
night, my friend.
Yeah,
Great
thank
to
you.
hear
Take
you.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Great one.
Regarding what's happening, one thing that happens here in Panama is here what we have is a really big Rolex dealer. And it seems that it's really big. And by the way, the watch that Thomas wants, the last time that I was on the ID, that was like 1 month ago, they had it on the case, the Explorer 2 or Polar. It seems,
Right.
yeah, here it seems that it's a good place to purchase watches for locals because, there are a lot of people from Central, South America, and also from China that comes to purchase here as the prices are quite good and also the taxes and everything.
Right.
And it seems that they have a lot of business and to give you an idea, when I asked for the Daytona, for the Panda Daytona, I got it in less than 2 months. I assume
Wow.
that
Oh,
there
wow.
are other big people, more big than me, that probably they already had it. And I always that I go, they told me, if you want something, tell me, and I assume that I will be able of any of the things, but yeah, but there is it's not worth. First of all, I don't want another another Rolex or something like that, but that is what we had. We used to have also a Brigade and other brands, but the owner of the store was in a money laundering thing, and they had to close and to liquidate all the stock. Yeah, but here is a nice place, and also the black GMT used. It wasn't very rare to see it on the case
Right.
six before it was discontinued. All for sure, Explorer 39 always used to be, yeah, and yeah, it's a good place for that, and also we. Also, as they have a store in the airport, you also can get it duty free, and it's something
Nice.
that is good for that.
That's one problem
Yeah,
I
that,
have here is getting if I get something from the States, I'm paying I don't know what it is, 20%, 30% duty on it. I've
That's ridiculous.
right. Import tax.
it's a kick in the head. Like, I
Yeah.
won got a watch for free from a
No,
guy, and I had to pay $20 duty
no,
tax duty on it.
no.
Wow.
Oh, it's irritating.
When I brought my watches here, really I just I just get in the country and that's it. Probably I should have to something, but I didn't. But I didn't. Maybe
Yeah, you must be a
sometime.
VIP. You must be a
Sorry.
VIP customer, Carlos. You must be a
Uh,
VIP customer in your Rolex branch, because I went on Friday to my Rolex AD and to inquire about an Explorer 2 Polar, and they said I'd had to wait 2 years.
no, but that wasn't
Get out of
a
here!
VIP.
Wow.
That anybody that at that time go into the store can purchase it. It wasn't the case. Open to the public. Anybody. The first that goes into the store can purchase it. It wasn't anything special. They, I assume that I could ask for something. I assume that if I will ask for a Hulk or for whatever, I will get it. I assume in short time, I think. But that specific Polar Explorer 2 was in the case ready to be
Wow.
Yeah.
purchased by anybody. That
Just like the good old days.
yeah.
Yeah, mine was really dumb luck. I mean, I went to go look at a used one at one of my local ADs, and the sales girl was showing it to me. I'm looking at it, and she's like, "Oh, by the way, if you're interested, we have a brand new one that somebody ordered and then changed their mind once it came in." So I was like, "Yeah, sure, of course."
No.
They were probably real
Absolutely
happy
fine.
to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many
Yeah.
do a lot of these places do they take in trades? And I've
Oh yeah.
never noticed
Oh
a
yeah.
used watch in a
But
at a
they sell them
dealer.
online.
Yeah, I
I
don't
mean, they're
find
not
that.
all of the four ADs that are near me. 3 of the 4 have displays of used watches.
Hmm. Okay.
So one
Yeah,
doesn't, but
yeah.
3 of the 4 does.
The places where I live, the Rolex AD won't. The Breguet and Vacheron and Patek and JLC AD won't. The only place that does buy in only sells things like Seiko and Bremont. So I'm on a bit of a loser. So, yeah.
Yeah, but in UK it's hard. The thing I think that it must be a very tough place, no, for purchasing watches. I understand the market is really bad there, in my understanding.
Yeah, it's a very high demand. Very high demand, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where I picked this up, if I just made it up in my own head, but I really assume that because of the Asian market, that a lot of the stuff is just going straight there so that they can, with the whole, middle class growth and all that, that now they want the luxury items. And it seems like it would make sense that they just send everything there because they want to break into that market a little more. And
Well,
so just leaving,
all of the ADs in England employ Chinese assistants, and they'll always put adverts in the window whenever they're employing somebody saying, if you speak Mandarin and Cantonese, it's an advantage. And often when I walk into an AD, there'll be Chinese people sat there because they come to England a lot for the holidays.
Mhm.
And there's a huge trade for a lot of the customers are Chinese for the high end watches, because they
Same
come
in
to
Madrid.
England, and yeah, they come to England, and when they leave England they can claim the VAT, which is 17.5%. They can
Yes.
claim all that back when they leave the
Yes.
country. So when they leave, they buy the watch for say £20,000. They can leave the country and they can claim back 17.5% of that when they leave the country at the airport. So they can
Yeah.
get all that back.
oh wow,
So it's very, very attractive for a lot of Chinese people to come actually to England to buy. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of money going across the water, sort of things,
yeah.
Madrid also is a nice place to purchase the watches. In fact, my Patek in Madrid, after with the tax refund, was much cheaper than anywhere else that I know. In my opinion, it was very yeah, good price. Also, I think that the euro exchange rate does something that probably they did not have the prices very well adjusted, but the price was very good considering the tax refund. If you have to go and pay the VA, the tax that in Spain is 21%, the sales tax will be much more expensive, but not in that case.
Well,
It
guys,
might.
Yeah,
how
I mean,
about we call it?
there's definitely.
I'm getting hungry.
Okay, cool, cool.
That's all good.
Thanks, flipping.
Yeah,
Yeah, flipping is great. It's 20
I
I
past
think that
11 in England, and I've not had my dinner yet.
I think
no.
that Crappy has today the Canada show. I think at in half an hour. I think Crappy has today Canada show. No, I think, but in half an hour.
My wife
Right.
made me a burrito 2
You
hours
lucky
ago and I
thing.
haven't gotten into it yet.
Same here. My courier arrived at the door, and I collected, and I still haven't opened it yet. This is too
Well,
attractive.
go eat,
It's
guys.
too demanding. Get my
Yeah.
priorities right. I've got to get
Yeah.
my priorities right.
Exactly.
Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah,
Yeah,
guys.
thanks
it
thanks a
was
lot, Flip.
great. Thank you,
Thanks
Felipe.
a lot, Zippo. It's been great. It's been
Yeah,
great
Yeah,
having us on.
I
Been
appreciate
great to
more.
have us something on.
Yeah.
yeah, it's great.
We'll do this again soon.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Make it a
Sounds
weekly
good.
stream.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Been great fun.
All right,
It
cool.
has.
Thanks
Good
for
night,
hosting
Carlos,
us.
Yeah,
Thomas,
thank you very
flipping.
much.
Good
Bye
night.
Yeah.
bye, guys.
Take care,
See
Blue
you.
Shirt. Take care, Carlos.
Okay, see you. Bye bye.
Bye,
Take care,
guys.
Flipping.
Bye
Thanks a lot, my
bye.
friend.
Take
Bye
care.
bye.
Yeah. Take care.
Bye bye.
Great one.